First question of the Lions nickel package. Who takes the bigger step forward next year? Terrion Arnold or Jack Campbell?
Terrion Arnold. Because in my mind, can I explain to you?
I'll listen.
In my mind, I think Jack Campbell has already shown. All one has to do is Google is your friend. I will say this time and time again. It's easy to fire opinions off there and left and right, but if you do a little fact checking, I think you can see what happened to his game. I think the game started. I think the numbers across the board. I think there's a bigger ceiling at this point in time for Terrion Arnold. Meaning, if we start with, and I know not everybody's going to do it, and you're an idiot if you don't, if we start with the basic premise that he's at worst a 2 CB, might we be able to deduce that perhaps he could graduate? Right?
I think he will be by
The
the
rate
end
of improvement, too. Henry Moon in the chat. Is there anything these guys don't turn into a reason to start shouting and screaming? Okay, Henry Moon, I'll answer this question for you then, Henry. Well, Sean, respectfully, I think that Jack Campbell,
Thank you.
given the nature of his game and the position that he's in, there is some runway for him to improve. Because if you look at the improvements that Jack Campbell might be able to make in the passing game, in terms of, you know, those plays where offenses will like to isolate the linebacker. Where's the weak matchup? Where can we isolate a matchup we like? Maybe, perhaps, because I saw some other people conversing in this chat for this entertainment program that we run, I saw some people conversing about the fact that he has so many tackles because they run at him repeatedly because they view him as a weak link. So therefore, Sean, assessing that data, I would then determine that perhaps there is some more ceiling for Jack Campbell to reach if I were trying to play devil's advocate. So Sean, I look forward I look forward to your response, not shouting and screaming, respectfully, of course.
Neil, I would counter to your very well-made point.
It was well thought out. Thank you.
Incredibly well thought out. This is intelligent sports talk. I would counter to your point that while I agree there is still a level of improvement that Jack Campbell might be able to achieve, I would counter that maybe his ceiling is perhaps this much, whereas Terrion Arnold's ceiling could be perhaps that much. So while, as to not diminish the fact that Jack Campbell could be able to, I can't fucking do this, okay? And let me tell you,
hold on, he's gonna leave.
no,
then.
but do you know why I've heard this? Like you guys were sports fans. Who watches a game like that?
Yeah.
Who watches it?
No, here we go. This is what they want
gosh,
to hear.
darn it, that field goal went left. Rats. Excuse me while
I really would have preferred if he made that.
Excuse me while I go relieve myself, and when I come back, we will discuss. We're
Delectable.
sports fans. It's supposed to be passionate.
ready?
It's supposed to be fired up. Come on, man.
Here we go. Oh yeah, baby. We're rolling with the Lions nickel package here on Smooth WSN. Question number 2. Hutchinson over under 17.5 sacks.
While I enjoy your enthusiasm for Aiden Hutchinson, I do think that is perhaps a little bit aggressive to call for anybody to get 17.5 sacks. My stock answer, Sean, is always going to be no. And I'm going to be right more often than I'm wrong. So this is one of these situations where, Spencer, you rascal, you paint me into a corner. And I have but no response to give, except for the one that I have pre-programmed. I will never call for a player in the National Football League to in fact expect to get 18 sacks.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. He's going over.
Listen,
Give me 20 plus.
I would be remiss if I did not only concur to what my colleague Neil Rule said, but if I did not offer empirical evidence to suggest that what he is saying would be considered a fact. More often than not, I think Neil Rule has proven himself to be quite the scoundrel in regards to digging deep.
All right.
Fuck.
Well, how about this, Spencer?
Yeah.
How about we break to wet our whistle and mentally recoup?
I would enjoy that.
All right. Why don't you
And we will
tell us
mentally
about-
recoup, and when we come back, we will continue on this trend and this track and this journey of the Lions nickel package.
3rd down. Who will lead this team in receiving yards next season?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know people want to get cute, and I love J-Mo more than anyone in this city. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'm still going to say Jameson. I am. I think because of the big play capabilities. I think the receptions will be up, to where we expect them to be for St. Brown. But I think, again, Neil, have it your way. Let's have a little bit more of our tight ends. Let's have a little bit more.
Neil Rule.
Let's have a little bit more of our backs out of the backfield, et cetera, et cetera. Let's have a little bit more of not only the depth that is already there, but even get a rookie involved. So I think because of the big play capability and the fact that he might mix in four different 80-plus yard touchdowns. I think.
What does that look like to you, Sean? 1,400?
1,400. I do.
Because if
1250.
1250?
How about 1250?
On what? 65 catches?
Sure.
Because if J-Mo does that, then it's Justin Jefferson territory. Because of the impact. It's everything that everyone loves about Jay Jettis, except when he's playing in a big game. It's everything anti-Amon-Ra, right? For real, Sean. No bullshit, man. For real. If Jameson does what you say, if he does that, then he will explode on the scene, and he will be one of the best receivers in football.
Explode
real
on
talk.
the scene. Yes.
What's his perception nationally right now? No, I'm not being funny.
Top tier number 2.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
And I think he could graduate to that. It's almost
because of the style, though, Sean.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
How many times?
Yeah,
how many times have we seen that over the course of the time? The guy who plays second fiddle. I'll go back to those great Dallas teams. How many times did somebody say, "Oh my gosh, Alvin Harper is so good. He could go be a number one elsewhere." And then he was afforded the opportunity to be a number one elsewhere, and he failed miserably.
He was a number 2 making number 1 money.
Because he fit hand in glove with what they were doing. Now, I'm not insinuating that is Jameson Williams' fate. I just think because of the big play capabilities and because of the other options there, while Amon-Ra St. Brown will do Amon-Ra St. Brown things, I think the numbers, the sheer math of it might put J-Mo on top. Spenny, what say you?
I think J-Mo leads the team in receiving yards. I do.
Wow.
The big playability is there. I think Amon-Ra will have him in catches and touchdowns probably, but J-Mo will be number 1 in receiving yards.
Again, because we're talking 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If he does that, he's one of the best receivers in football based on the sex appeal of what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Baby.
Him and Jay Jettis.
It's gonna be a big year for Jameson Williams. You hear Johnny Morton himself, who don't sleep on Johnny Mo, the original J-Mo, some might say, but he had 4.3 speed himself as a wide receiver back in his day. Johnny Morton likes the burners. He likes the down the field shots. He likes the play
I do
action
too.
stuff.
I love the man.
He's going to take more of those shots down the field to Jameson Williams. That is a fact.
So
he
is
said
it,
himself.
Spenny, is it that simple?
He said himself, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, I expect Jameson Williams to break out this year. Every single player, every single coach that I've heard talk about Jameson Williams so far this season has said the kid's locked in. I've never seen him like this in meeting rooms. I've never seen him like this in film study. J-Mo's going to bomb this year in a good way.
Dude, you know what, though, man? If this happens, then he could be the best receiver in football.
I hope to your point that we take
Spenny.
more cracks.
But that's it.
Take more cracks.
Let me say it a different way. He could be the most dangerous weapon in the National Football
Yes,
League.
that I agree with.
I don't think you're far off. We were talking about this on Wake Up Woodward, and I kind of flirted with the same idea of him possibly becoming the best wide receiver in the NFL. Like we talked about this earlier.
I'm not going to say that.
I don't care about the best wide receiver. No disrespect to you or anybody else. Do you know what I care? I care about a weapon that everybody has to be cognizant of.
Sean, and
they might take a crack this set of downs.
And that's where it is for me, Sean, with Jameson Williams, because I do believe. And look. You want to get caught up in semantics.
Keep your tone down.
Sorry. No, you want to get caught up in semantics. That's fine. And do the verbiage of things when I say he could be the best receiver in football. I equate the best receiver in football to the guy that is feared the most when the football's in his hand. Mm-hmm. And Jameson Williams, if what Spenny says is true and what, John Morton says is true, because the vibes I got from that was we are going to get the pill in this guy's hand 13 times a game. And if he does that, you're going to be kicking an extra point 2 times a game. after one of those touches. That's just the way it works with this guy. And Sean, I'm telling you, if this happens, and I respect your guys' takes because of what we do, we're locked in more than most. If that happens, if he has 1,400 yards, then he is going to take this league by storm. Like Tyreek Hill, like Barry Sanders, like if this guy gets the football, he's flipping it to the referee after it's done.
I'm not going that high. Like I said, I'm willing to go to 1,250, but I want that threat to be there. I want guys to be cognizant of it, and that opens up our tight end, that opens up other wide receivers, that opens up guys out of the backfield. I want him, and again, not the high-priced decoy because I'm establishing that the numbers are going to be there, but I want him to, at the same time, be that guy that you have to worry about and thus open things up. It's almost like we talk about with the defensive line, okay? If Hutch is going to take so much of your attention, I want a massive push up front.
Yeah.
I want McNeil when he's come back. I want Williams when he comes back. I want somebody else to feast. I want a Cliff Averill. I want a Cliff Averill who's going to put on a bib and grab a knife and a fork and go, I'm getting all the scraps that Ndamukong
And go get $25 million from the Seahawks.
Right. That's and you know what? I think that J-Mo could unlock some of that with this offense. I really
You guys
do.
got me hyped up. Tony D, add whiskey to Neil equals mean Neil. Tony D, I'm doing what you said. How am I mean? I gave you what you wanted. Talk sports.
I think there's only so many yards for J-Mo because of the fact he is so explosive. I think that defense are more willing to adjust to him if he's the one that's ascending the Lions offense. Because if you saw what they did with Tyreek Hill, they'll throw two safeties back and it kind of takes him away a little bit. And if they do that, that's just going to open up more yards for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it's pick your poison. But if they do pick J-Mo, Amon-Ra is going to be the one that eats. So I just don't see the angle of where J-Mo is going to be able to have more yards.
I look at it like this. Jameson Williams had 58 receptions last year. He had over 1,000 yards.
That's insane. No one talks about it the way we talk about it.
And he missed 2 games.
Right.
So
and he had 1 game with -4 receiving yards.
And he had 1 game where he had -4 receiving yards. So you put 3 full games onto last year's performance, just how it was in that offense. That's an extra, 200 yards of 3 games of J-Mo. Yeah. So he'd be at like 1,200. We'll say 1,150. All right? You give him 20 more catches next year, which is what they're going to try to do. Which
1350.
That's 1350.
Well, it's 20 a catch.
That's right.
That's the science of it. That's not what Spencer thinks or what I think.
Yeah.
Those are the numbers. Go look them up.
And
if you throw him the football, you get 19 yards.
Absolutely. And you look at what he does last year, how much of his route tree improved. He wasn't just running the go ball and let Goff close his eyes and throw it as far as he can. There were intricate route trees. There were plays designed for him to get him open in that offense. I expect more of that next year. The chemistry between him and Goff grew exponentially last year in the season. You saw the trust factor there, and you really saw J-Mo trusting himself and his hands last year, making impressive all-hands catches. On top of that, the dude hasn't had a fucking offseason in the NFL yet. This is his first year where he's going to have a full offseason, getting with these guys, getting right, being in the gym, being with the organization. I'm telling you, this guy's going to have a fucking nuts season.
Woodward Sports chat thread, BS 1985, watching on a little delay, getting caught up, sitting here trying to work and getting all emotional with this end of school year stuff. Great work, guys. Thank you, BS 1985.
We're
we
humans.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Sorry, you're going to have to excuse us, guys. We're humans.
Dr. Clappencheeks, I'd rather eat cream of wheat than deal with Neil talking like that all the time. Well, that kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Next down.
No suspensions, no injuries, just pure J-Mo adrenaline. All right, next question. Let's see, what are we, 41 minutes into the show. The third question of our first nickel package. Oh, okay, just I'm not going to do an over-under. Ballpark, where are you feeling? How many yards does Tesla finish with next year?
The standard, what's the standard rookie?
I said 300 to 500.
I was gonna say 450.
I was going to say 400.
Yeah.
You also have to consider, you guys.
3 touchdowns?
I think this is a franchise that I use this term often, okay, for our generation. Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells did not like rookies.
No.
Bill Parcells said rookies do dumb things, and he spoke factually, okay?
The Lions don't like rookies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm evoking Bill Parcells. Give it time. This is why we talk at draft time about them playing chess. If you're expecting the world from these guys as rookies. You're not following the same franchise as I am. There might be an exception to the rule. Lord knows I hope and pray that there's an exception to the rule, okay? And if it's anybody, I'd love for Williams to be the exception to the rule, because that means that they're putting pressure on the opposition's quarterback. Neil, 350, 400 yards, and somebody that the opposition is going to have to account for come late January and into February. How's that?
Greg Rounds. I can't do the whole show like this, but I'll do your message for this like you. Hey, Neil, how about the Wall Bonds Act for the entire episode? No, we can't do that for an entire episode, my friend. We can't do it for an entire episode. Next down.
All right, final question of the Lions nickel package.
Get in there good, Brady.
Who is second on this team in sacks?
Marcus Davenport.
Shout out to Brady, our head of sales.
Yeah.
More than just a salesman. Also keeping the talent loose.
All right, you know
services a lot of accounts,
Yes.
huh?
I will pay you money if you get in here and work out these kinks. I will pay you
Sean,
money.
you got to sit in that fucking chair, dude.
Justin, get up. No, you know
I'll
what?
trade with
Just to be different, how about I'm going to go with Zadarius Smith,
Ooh.
a guy who isn't even on the Lions right now.
Ooh.
But can we all say he's going to be on the Lions?
I think so.
Can we all? I'm going to go with Zadarius Smith. Is that fair?
No, it's 100% fair. I really think, and I think Spenny and I are kind of in lock. Have you put this on wax yet?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
a big believer in Marcus Davenport.
I'm feeling Marcus Davenport
I am too.
this year. I don't know what it is.
I pray
I'm
you
on
guys are right. I hope you're right.
It's only vibes.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's all only vibes.
Only vibes.
Only vibes.
I'm going to dip my toe in the vibes.
Yeah, when we did our bold takes right after Lions season ended, I said Marcus Davenport will be second on the team in sacks this year.
I believe in Marcus Davenport.
I do for real.
And I said on heavyweights, including playoffs, Marcus Davenport is going to play 16 games this year.
Fuck yeah.
We need it. I'm positive.
That's aggressive.
I'm
That's
so
positive
aggressive.
spending. I'm
No
positive
load
spending.
management.
Things are working for me. It's going well. Positive spending. A lot of good things happened in his life. I was positive spending about Casey Mize' little injury, just being precautionary. He's good to go.
You're
He's
on a
ready to
vibes
go.
run.
I'm on a vibes run. I'm pumping my vibes into Marcus Davenport. Pause.
All right, let's take a break.